Okay, I'm going to talk really quickly about being a reader at the same time as being a writer. So, my goal when I set up this channel was to talk about every book that I read and to talk about them really quickly and just be able to give you a kind of a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbnail portrait of whether I thought it was good or not. Now, what I find is that while I used to plow through almost any book, no matter how good or bad it was, I don't do that anymore. I think that's a combination of um, not having as much time, being a mom, and also working because writing is working, um, and being that writer because the things that I read influence how I write. Do you guys find that, like, if you read something that's really depressing, you are just depressed? Like, I read White Gold Wielder, which is simultaneously one of the most depressing series I've ever read. um, and also has one of the most horrible, unambiguously awful main characters that I've ever read. And you keep reading because you think eventually this guy is going to take a hint. And he never does. And so he not only spends the entire series hating himself, hating everyone else, taking advantage of everyone else, and just generally dragging two worlds through hell for his own sake. Anyway, don't like White Gold Wielder. But when I read things that are dark, depressing, poorly written, some of that tends to come through in my own writing, though the poorly written part, I usually find myself using bigger words and more complex grammar in sheer self-defense. So it doesn't happen very often, but I don't read everything through, and I don't feel like it's fair to do a review of a book that I didn't finish. Now, I obviously do finish books, and many of them, but I've been reading a lot of manga, manhwa lately, and that's, well, I'm sure I could review them. I often don't finish those either, because I just read kind of the free fan translations, and so there is no ending, which is in and of itself frustrating. But, so in just a minute, I'm actually going to do a review of a couple of books that I've read just recently that I really liked and finished. But what I probably am going to find is that in future, there go the dogs. Most of the books that I review will be ones that I like, because if I don't like them, as much as I hate to admit it, I am not going to finish them anymore. I'm not going to waste my time. If I get part of the way through and find that the main character is an irredeemable butt face, or that he is, or she is a thirsty sexaholic walking around just horn dogging on absolutely everybody around with no actual plot, I'm not going to finish it. And then I won't get a review. I mean, technically, I probably should review them and just be like, dude, it's not good. But I'm going to make this a recommendations channel. I don't want to knock down authors who are doing their best. And it just doesn't happen to be for me. If something is truly deeply awful, I might review it. But if it's just not my taste, I probably won't finish it and I probably won't review it. So, that said, here we go.